Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Greg McCloskey from ForexLive.com. Today's date is August 23rd, 2023. This is a Kickstart video for your trading day where I take a look at the euro, the euro versus US dollar, the dollar versus yen, and the sterling versus US dollar. So let's get started. I'm going to start by looking at the euro versus US dollar, and this is the 4-hour chart on this currency pair. And it wasn't just yesterday that the price was up here testing this blue overlay line on the 4-hour chart. This is the 100-day moving average. As you can see, sellers leaned against that level and pushed to the downside. In trading yesterday, the low price reached down to the low of this key swing area. This key swing area was defined by different swing lows and highs going back to way back to this area right through here, and then it found support here before moving to the upside, and we returned back to that level in trading last week and found support buyers moving up to the 100-day moving average and then moved down, tested the low of that swing area at 108.33 and moved higher to about the 108.70 level in trading here today. So got a good 40 or 45 pip bounce off of that level and before moving to the downside. This move to the downside was helped by weaker PMI flash data that came out of in Europe today. All the services and manufacturing data was lower than expectations, and that's sent the price to the downside here. But we see this green line right here. This green line represents the 200-day moving average, and if I go to the daily chart and look all the way back in time, the last time the price traded below the 200-day moving average was back here in November of 2022. So guess what? That 200-day moving average is going to provide some support. Below that level is another swing area between the 107.73 and 107.89. So get below the 200, get below this level, and traders and the bias turns more to the downside. But we have to be cognizant of what traders do against risk-defining levels like the 100-day moving average, like the 200-day moving average, and that may be to buy against those levels. Why? Because risk can be defined and limited against those levels, and as long as the price remains above it, guess what? You could get that rebound to this area right through here, 108.33 to 48. Again, that's a swing area through here. I would expect sellers against that level, however, and potential push further to the downside here in the euro versus US dollar. So be aware, be prepared, but we are finding support against the 200-day moving average currently at the moment, and it definitely is a key technical level for traders going forward. Let's take a look at the dollar versus yen. I'm going to stay on the hourly chart here. What do we see in the hourly chart? Well, we traded above and below this blue line yesterday. This blue line represents the 100-hour moving average, and we closed just above it in trading yesterday. And trading here today in the Asian session, the sellers started to lean against that moving average right through here and push the price down. But where do we find support? Against the 200-hour moving average. That's a green line here, and recall from last week the price held support. Yesterday we had early buyers against it, so the green line is going to provide support, and it did for a number of different hours into the European session. But then a last test of the 100-hour moving average found willing sellers, and the price then broke below the 200-hour moving average and moved to the downside. Now we do have good support down here, and that's the next target, 144.88 to 145.10. All these different swing levels here, barring this one right here, but all these different swing levels through here, and then it became support through here, here, and here. This day we found support against the 200 as well, and so we would, if the 200-hour moving average can hold resistance here, we would look for a rotation back down with this area as the next key target on the downside. So look for something along this way here. But if the price should move back above the 200-hour moving average, get back above the 100-hour moving average, that would take all the bets off for any sort of bearish type of price action in this currency pair. So watch those moving averages. Those will be the key for traders today. Let's take a look at the sterling versus US dollar finally. Let's focus on the 4-hour chart here, and what we see on the 4-hour chart is the price is now breaking below the 100-day moving average. That's really an hourly moving average, but we have it overlaid here on the 4-hour chart. That 100-day moving average comes in at 126.34, and you have to go back in time. Well, I'll go to the daily chart here to look at the last time the price moved below that level. We found support against it here. So you have to go all the way back to maybe this month right here, the month of March, where the price fell a little bit below it here, and then was below it here. So all the way back to March, for the last time the price really traded more for a extended period of time below the 100-day moving average. Moving back to the 4-hour chart. We do have another swing area here down to 125.90, which has a number of different swing lows and swing highs that we saw through this area through here, where the price found resistance and then support before moving to the upside. We came down to find support again against this area before moving to the upside, and we returned to that area here and here over the last 2 weeks and found support. And you can see that we're currently testing the low price from last week's trading, and with the other support down to the 125.90. If we break below the 125.90 and able to stay below the 100-day moving average, that would open up the door for further selling pressure in the pound versus US dollar. So sellers are making a play in the pound versus US dollar. We'll see if they can continue that play with a break below the 125.90 level and trading here today. If they move back above the 100-day moving average of 126.34, we could see some disappointment on the failed break and the support against the prior low from last week. So still a battle going on, but sellers are certainly in play and making a play in this currency pair today. My name is Greg Michalowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.